Hey everyone! You know, Kidder Music Service is one of the greatest assets to our school district. From providing day-to-day materials like reeds and valve oil to purchasing pieces of sound and instrumental equipment, there isn't anything they can't do. Kidder Music Service helps our students sound the best they can each and every day, and we are proud to call them a Music in the Making sponsor. If you are looking for similar materials for your school, don't hesitate to call and ask for assistance and mention us, Music in the Making, today. Their number is 309-692-4040, or visit kiddermusic.com, that's Kidder music.com today for all your music classroom needs. And now, on to the podcast. Welcome to Music in the Making.
That's illegal.
I want to be with you everywhere. A Halloween party. Oh, that's fun. Let's talk about work.
That's not what I said. Well, and I like Stanridge, so it's like I kind of.
Oh, you guys are friends?
Yeah,
You guys
I talked
are
to
friends?
yeah, we talked
Talked to him last week.
a whole 5 minutes at Midwest last year. We are 3 high school and junior high music teachers from West Central Illinois.
And someone had to go to the bathroom during intermission and missed it. And that someone is me.
Yeah! Each week we will talk about our experiences in the classroom, community, and personal lives too. Please welcome your hosts, Lisa Hallen.
We say move all this stuff down there, and then it gets moved, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, why have we moved that from there to there to there? Stop recording.
Art Martinez, happy Friday if it's not a Friday, or Saturday or Sunday, or if you're Lisa, it's a week later. And Kevin Ferry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
During class.
Oh man, what a day.
That was a good day.
It was a very,
we're on.
very good day. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys do? You didn't do the intro yet.
Oh,
This is not how it works.
Why don't you watch or listen to the
my God.
podcast every now and again? We always do this. He
I
always hits record,
This is
and,
embarrassing.
and then he edits.
find a
Like
good
he
start
finds the spot to start it, and then he edits it, and then he'll go into his welcome back into music in the making
all
bit.
natural.
So we're gonna edit this out, or are we? Just
Well,
gonna-
depending. I mean, if you drop f-bombs and stuff,
This is
Which
good
he did
content
already.
right now.
It usually is. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the personal side of music in the making. Like,
Right.
we pull back the curtain, Mike.
Yeah.
We pull back the curtain.
Yeah. We
Even
do.
though we've definitely done this before.
What's that?
Welcome back to another episode of Music in the Making.
Oh, are we on? Are we recording?
He didn't see it start.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Even though Mike
Okay.
just had 5 minutes of asking,
Oops.
when did we start?
Mike got it. Why can't
Day 2 of Nashville senior trip, and boy, was it a day. It's weird because we didn't start obviously as early as the first day because we didn't have to leave anywhere, but like it was so jam packed with stuff.
you? Yeah.
Shout out to
What
Guardian Travel for
Yeah.
making it it's so nice to have like the trip how we had it because there's time for breaks and things like do what you want to do, but then like we need to be here at this time so we can be at this thing that we are signed up to do, and it's a nice balance of like you get to do what you want plus things that we want you to experience, and then at the end of the day it's like whoo.
It's been such a long day. What did we do first?
Eat breakfast.
Okay, we did eat breakfast, but
Musicians Hall of
Musicians Hall of Fame. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have done so much today.
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Musicians Hall of Fame was incredible. I've been to the Country Music Hall of Fame twice. Mike, you've probably been there 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. But once you've seen it a couple times, man,
Right.
like if we would have gone to the Country Music Hall of Fame, I'd have just sat out in the lobby.
Right. That's
Like
what I usually do now.
Yeah.
Or we could have gone somewhere. I don't need to see it again. And Art, you would have stayed because Kat probably hasn't seen
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You walked around with Kat, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But the Musicians Hall of Fame, completely different and really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of great stuff in there. And as people are reading off names to me, like there's some stars in there, but there's a lot of people you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And what I think we've shown our kids today, as we get into what our day was like, was how many unsung, unknown people make this stuff happen. Because, yes, we all know the Blake Sheltons and the Garth Brooks and the Carrie Underwoods and all that stuff, but, like, our kids got to see a different side,
Right.
and honestly, as you know, high school band and choir kids, that's something they can aspire to way easier than becoming Mariah Carey.
Right, right.
Like that's 1 in a million shot.
yeah.
And not that being a studio musician or you know a songwriter or whatever takes incredible talent,
Yeah.
but you know there's more of those. I mean,
Right.
just the law of averages or percentages. There are more songwriters and studio musicians than there are.
I mean, think about everything on Broadway Street. You have a set of musicians at every bar for multiple hours of the day.
Yeah.
Like, there's a ton of musicians that, you know, people have opportunities to be one.
So what stuck out to you, Art, on the Musicians Hall of Fame?
I think what stuck out to me was I forget how important Memphis is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like
they
I
even
know
brought that
we
up
get
tonight.
so
We'll get to that, but
we get so caught up in like Nashville country music,
Sure.
and Memphis is really not that far away. And how I was like so like, oh my gosh, like how could I like forget?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Memphis is such another like powerhouse of like musical
Right.
like inspiration that
Right.
like it really started there, and then Nashville kind of like took over
Right.
like after that, or like would like kind of what's the word like they kind of like piggyback off of what the success that Memphis was having, because it's like Elvis was in Nashville, Elvis was Memphis,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Charles was Memphis, Ike and Tina Turner were Memphis, and it's like, and these guys like their music transferred into country, or helped you know some artists transfer into country, and I'm like, it was really eye opening. I was like, oh my gosh, how could I forget? Because that music I really like too. Like I love like Motown's probably one of my all time favorite genres. Country's really
That's
great,
Detroit.
but right, I know, but I'm saying
You're
like,
talking about Memphis. Why don't confuse our audience, please?
well, this is an educational podcast. We probably should let them know.
It is or is not.
I don't know what it is. I think
Okay.
it is. I think Spotify labeled it as educational.
Oh, okay. That's
It's
probably,
also it's technically self help also, because you know like we're trying to help yourself.
probably not mental health.
No, this
Trigger warning.
this conversation
Wow.
definitely.
Wow. Who invited this guy?
I have to put the E and explicit on this one because of that comment.
No, I agree with you. You know, in that same time, like, my grandparents lived near Branson, Missouri for a long time, and that is a hotbed of music as well.
Mhm.
I don't know that it's as much on the innovative side. If you say Memphis has this style and
Yeah, right.
Nashville has this style, and you talk about the bluegrass and the rockabilly and the hip, you
Right.
talk about, I don't know how much Branson, but I've been to Branson several times, and holy cow, just music. I mean, it's not quite Broadway Street for sure. It's more very much show based, but I mean, every show I've ever gone to in Branson, Missouri is amazing too.
Right.
I think
So they're kind. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. I have been to Beale Street before in Memphis.
Yeah.
My senior choir tour, our big stop was Memphis, Tennessee, and I think I told you this story the other. Well, maybe no. I was telling Looper.
shout out John Looper.
Shout out Don Looper. We were walking to seniors. We were all 21, so we're walking down Beale Street, and we walk in, and we walk into this bar, and our choir director and his wife, who was our accompanist, was sitting there, and he's like, "Come on in, let's go, get these guys. It's on me." And we're like,
Nice.
"Oh, okay, let's
Yeah,
go,"
sure.
you know. And we're listening to the live music, and just it's it. But so.
I think what also I like about the Musicians Hall of Fame too is that like unlike most museums where everything is behind a box, behind
Yeah.
glass,
Yeah.
there was so much that's like you really could touch it if you wanted to,
Right.
but
Yep.
of course there's signs that you shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I think to see on like these displays some of the greatest songs ever written, and those instruments literally just sitting right there.
Right.
That wrote like that you hear on these records, on these songs, and I think it's just like it's kind of powerful to just be
Yeah.
briefly in the same room as that instrument.
Right.
I think was really really cool.
So
Right.
you've been in there before, right? You didn't go in with us today, but you've been in there before,
I
right?
have. Yeah.
So one of the things that baffled me was we walked by a drum set, right? And I
Right.
talked to you about this
Yeah,
while
sure,
we were there.
sure.
Walk by a drum set. You see a drum set right now of, you go and watch live music, you watch a band, right? The drum set has 13 different toms, 12 different cymbals,
Right.
2 bass drums. And I can't remember what songs it said, but it had a bass drum, a snare drum,
Right.
a hi-hat, and a tom.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, I think it was Hal Blaine. Oh, yeah, I remember. It was Hal Blaine's drum set, and he was the one that did from the Wrecking Crew. It still had, taped onto the snare drum, I'm pretty sure it was a handkerchief to, deaden the articulation of the sound.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have never seen the documentary, The Wrecking Crew, highly recommend it. These guys basically were the instrumentalists for people like the Beach Boys.
Based out of LA, right?
Yeah, this is the LA group. The Beach Boys, the Association, Mamas and the Papas, anything that's 60s in that time, these guys played the instruments. And I was telling Kevin, what's interesting about that documentary is for example, the Association, they were just singers. They went into the studio and sang their part.
Yeah.
When it came time to tour,
Yeah.
they had to learn how to play the instruments
Sure.
and kind of fake it a little bit
Yeah.
because it was these guys, these unsung heroes who were making the music. But these guys would churn out records,
Well, in
whole
the
records
60s,
every day.
we didn't have lip syncing and Milli Vanilli and all that stuff, right?
Definitely not Milli Vanilli.
I don't even know.
Maybe chili chocolate, but not Milli Vanilli.
I don't know who Chili Chavez is.
I don't know.
Did you just make that up?
I did.
Good dog.
But yeah, so I was telling, but Kevin had brought that up. He's like, how do these drum sets today have all this stuff? It's well,
Right.
because they had to keep it simple back then.
Right.
They had it because they just had to churn out this music all the time, and it's amazing.
One of the cool things I saw that I loved, and I think you did too, was the mobile recording studio. Do you
yeah.
remember that, Mike?
Oh yeah.
The semi.
Yes.
There was a recording studio, and you
Yeah.
got to walk through it.
Crazy.
Right.
That was really.
are
Art's comment was, "How would you like to have to secure this after every?"
Yeah, I was you had to put all the cables away, or
Right.
you just strap stuff down
Strap.
every
That's
single
what
time.
that's the word to use.
I was like, can you imagine just duct taping things to things, just to make sure it wouldn't move during.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have never heard of that in my life. A mobile recording studio.
You got a picture of Kat standing next to one of Elton John's pianos.
Yeah, because
Excellent.
that was the piano that did that was Caribou that did that that album. That's a really really good one because that's don't let the sun go don't let the sun go down on me. That's one of his biggest hits.
Anyway, we saw a piano early on in the tour, and then there's a bunch of grands out in the middle and a couple different places. So when's the last time any of those pianos were tuned?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
they're sitting out.
I'm sure if you just ting ting.
Yeah.
Maybe take a blacklight to him because it's probably
Oh, stop.
and all that stuff
Oh.
that's on top of it. I can imagine
Nope.
germs. Don't touch it. Not so much because it's fragile, but you might.
I
get
touched
disease.
Johnny Cash's car.
Yeah.
Layer of dust.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm like, come on, guys.
What are we
It's
doing?
Johnny
Yeah.
Cash's car.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of step all over you. Sorry, Mike. I asked you what you liked about it. What you.
I mean, just the fact of how interactive it is. That's why I always put it on.
Mhm.
See, and we didn't get to do any of the. We talked about I think the tour guide, encouraging kids to do that, or somebody that's done the interactive part.
Yep.
And we didn't have enough time to do that.
Right.
And that's not a slight. So those of you that don't know, Mike is our Guardian Travel tour guide, Mike guy, but Mike was a band director.
Yep.
So Mike is a musician.
Yep.
So he can speak of these things with some.
For sure.
Degree of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike knows what he's talking about when it comes to music stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we got to. Are we good with the Musicians Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, it was great. Between if I had to choose between the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Musicians Hall of Fame, I think I like the Country Music Hall of Fame just a little bit more. I love the interactive stuff and getting close to the instruments and stuff, but I feel for me, I love seeing a lot more of the country side of it because I'm in Nashville. That's what I want to see.
Right. If the Country Music Hall of Fame would fix their like makeshift interactive recording studios.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when we came down here in 2021, my girls went in there and recorded songs.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Right.
And then you and I tried
Yeah,
to do
oh my
one
gosh,
last year,
couldn't
and
do
it was such a delay. They obviously haven't maintained those
Right.
at all.
Right.
Because like you can see, like Emma sang Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they did a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
You know, Kendall and Emma did, but you can't do it. It's such a delay. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. But
So yeah, I'd love to do the interactive stuff.
Yeah.
More and have more time, just even in just that section.
Right. For sure.
So the kids do what they were doing. We got down there. We went down. They had free time on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
And I have no idea where the kids went. And when I say kids, they're adults.
I'm assuming they went into a bar.
there were tons of shops. I mean,
Yeah,
shops, bars. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably did.
They
I
would
mean,
explore.
but we went to the greatest band of all times bar, John Bon Jovi's.
Yes.
And I just wanted to buy something, John Bon Jovi, and a hat was $40. They didn't have much. A hat was $40 and a koozie was 10. And I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan, but meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, but even before then, though, on our way to it, I really love, because we mentioned it a couple times today in different conversations with people, like going down that street,
Mm-hmm.
hearing a live band play something,
Right.
literally like 2 feet, and then you're in the next
Something
bar,
else, yeah.
and that's another band, live band, playing
Right.
a totally different song, different genre.
Right.
Keep walking.
Yeah.
Another one. And I'm like, this is like quite literally
And it was-
live.
And it was 11:30 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
they
like-
start at 10 a.m. on Broadway Street and
And
go until whatever.
Right. And I'm like, it's like a live playlist on shuffle.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's a
yeah,
and
your
like,
iPod
it's
shuffle.
almost like a weird like sensation that I'm like, whoa, live music, and then like,
Right.
oh, I hear a different song. Oh, I hear a different song. So cool.
Yeah.
So much fun. And
Yeah.
honestly, there was still a lot of people out at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Where else did we go? We went to what's that called?
And then we went to. Then Kat saw that Lady Wilson had her bar, Bell Bottoms Up, I think it is.
And actually, it's kind of just a bar and grill, isn't it?
It's.
I didn't
mean,
see a stage, but
It
obviously
was on
blind.
the back. It was on the
Okay,
back. Yeah, it was
okay.
when you first walk
There
in.
was nobody there.
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah.
playing there.
Yeah, no. Not that we playing there, but she wanted to go because like she's a little Lady Wilson fan, and I just wanted to see the gift shop.
That
and
gift
stuff.
shop was just barely bigger than John Bon Jovi's gift shop.
Oof. Yeah, it was kind of tiny.
So
tiny,
I don't think we ever talked about it, but last year we came down here, Mike and Guardian Travel let Art and I come down as a, hey, come and see what Nashville can do for your students. And Art and I got to spend some time in Garth Brooks' bar and John Bon Jovi's bar.
Mm-hmm.
Loved them both. The band that we got to see at Garth's bar was amazing.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. And when they started singing, gosh dang it, what was the little rap that they started doing? They sang a couple pop songs.
40.
Colt 45 and
yeah,
two zigzags,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
That's all we need. Like the place went nuts. But I do have one complaint, and I know this is gonna break my heart to say it about the John Bon Jovi bar. The bathroom is like a block away and 3 stories down. Oh, it's so awful. It's really not a good design, really good setup. But the band we heard there was amazing as well.
Good.
So anyway,
Yeah.
John Bon Jovi get a better bathroom.
Sponsor us, but then get a better bathroom.
JBJ.
Yeah. So then we got to the van or the bus or whatever, and then we went to lunch, the listening room.
Oh yes.
What a crazy concept that is, but
Mike, can you explain to our listeners what the listening room is?
The listening room is an awesome venue that allows songwriters to perform their own music and talk about the reasons why they wrote that specific song. And I think we got lucky today. It was a really great show with all these Australians, and it was 3 songs.
Shout out
Australia.
shout out Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
That's for all our Australians.
Yeah, Australian
listeners.
All 0.3% of you.
Yeah, there's 3 songwriters up on stage, and we got lucky. They kept calling up all these younger artists and incredible vocalists.
And they don't have record deals.
No.
Like, these people could sing.
Right.
Well, the one gal does. The star,
winner, the first person.
whatever the
Yeah.
show, the
Yeah.
American Idol of country
Right.
music in Australia.
Superstar or whatever.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Star.
Yeah.
So
Shout
I,
out Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up really quick. Yeah, so it started in 2006. So that's when the listening room started. Because I remember I had looked, I'm like, it was like early 2000s I had read briefly. But it's a really neat thing because it's like, I would say too, like, because the food aspect I would think would be distracting, but everyone's so, like, just so zoned in.
Did you
on
eat your food?
I was.
Because I don't think you did.
No, I did, but I was being very careful with it because I didn't want to, like, during the slow part or the soft parts, I didn't want to be like
chewing. Yeah, right. And like during the clapping, you're like, okay, let it eat really quickly.
Yeah,
So like, I mean, I'm so enamored by like just watching them
so
and hearing them and the stories that are being told through their music. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna just sit here for hours and just keep doing this.
So I'm gonna plug the listening room like in a big way. So the tickets for the listening room, correct me if I make a mistake here, are $15 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the lunchtime.
At least for that time, yeah.
When we were 12:30.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, they open the doors at 12:30.
Yeah.
So it's 1 o'clock show. Tickets are $15, and they played 20 songs.
Yeah.
Like they just kept bringing, and they each sang 3 of their own.
Yeah.
And they just kept bringing people up.
Right.
So, and then you have a $15 minimum food/bar bill.
Easy.
Right, and every hamburger is $15.
Right.
Like the entrees are like $17, $18. Like this is dirt cheap.
Is that to make sure they just don't drink? They want people to order food. It's like that. Is that why maybe?
I mean, you can order a couple apps and still make it $15.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously we didn't have any alcoholic beverages there, but I'm sure they're not cheap.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Probably 3 or 4 beers and you've covered your $15.
Right.
And that's probably how they can keep their tickets so cheap.
Right.
But it was every bit of 2 hours and no intermission. It was a pretty chill atmosphere.
Yeah.
My wife and I are thinking about coming down with a couple of friends next summer.
It's on
and
our itinerary.
Oh, I'm definitely putting it on there.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
So we had a couple bangers. They had a few #1 hits, right? The one that Blake Shelton and Post Malone.
Yeah.
Whatever. Pour Me a Beer.
Something like that.
So it's a beer drinking song, and then was it a Faith Hill song?
Faith Hill that was supposed to be Kenny Tennessee?
Yes.
It was supposed to be, and I could hear the vibe.
Right.
What was that? Something in Summertime, Sunshine in Summertime.
I think so. Yeah.
That was really good, and then the first guy had what was this? He played it early.
Yeah.
They played their #1 hits late. He played his, and be on the lookout for this next one that we're pretty. Was it you that said, Chris Stapleton?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he's like, here's a song that I'm hoping will like be a #1 hit.
It's supposed to be
that.
released here.
And
in the
he
next
starts
week or
singing
two.
it. I'm like, that's a Chris Stapleton. If I had to guess, it just has that vibe that you're saying. But again, like these guys are writing these songs, and like whether they recognize, and I think another part of the listening room is that like if they want to do their hits, they can. Otherwise, it's like, here's a song I wrote. And
we heard 2 songs. One that they wrote yesterday,
like brand new, like never have been. Like, how many times in your life can you be like, I've heard something for the very first time that no one else in the world has heard?
And then the gal from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Is that where she was from?
The Kiwi, she said. And we're like, what? They're like, oh, I guess you don't know that. It's like, no, we eat kiwis here. Thanks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, JoJo something.
She debuted a song that she's releasing in like August.
The Guest House.
It was so good.
Kat was like, how can I download this? I'm like, no, she said it's not going to come out until August. Like, we have to wait.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So, and the main guy, that I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
The guy that talked the most. He
Yeah.
was so funny.
Yeah.
He was so. And then, sorry, Lisa. Like these guys were so good. Like, but they would make mistakes live. You know, and the one guy was like,
Yeah. Wrong chord. Yeah.
well, he's transitioning to the bridge and he missed it.
He missed it. Yeah.
But I have to shout out Tom Jordan.
Shout out Tom Jordan.
So the first song was kind of upbeat-ish,
Yeah.
right? The first, and then everything after that was broken heart. My mom died. The lamppost song was
Yeah.
awesome, but like
Still sad.
everything
Super
is
sad.
yeah, everything is like Debbie Downer. Like, come on, guys, you got a bunch of high school kids sitting here.
Yeah.
And this guy comes up, Tom Jordan, never heard of him before in my life. And I don't know what it was, but I looked at Art and I said, this is going to be different. Because he started out by saying, I was going to come up here and sing this, but I think I'm going to do a sad song.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep it sad. And I looked at Art and I go, there's going to be a twist.
Yeah.
This is going to be something different.
Yeah.
I could just, by the tone of his voice or whatever, and we all kind of started laughing at him. He was like, no, I'm being serious. This broke my heart.
Yeah.
The girl broke up with me, and
We're like,
and he
damn.
goes on with the story, and he's like, and you know, my girlfriend's name was Aria, and so this is a song about Aria, and like you don't think about it, and then he's talking about I'll never lie, Aria, don't make me cry, Aria, but I wanna die, Aria. And we all heard it coming.
Yeah,
right?
right,
When he started doing that, we're like, wait a minute.
gosh.
And then Art hits me and he goes,
Here comes
gonorrhea's next.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea's next. And he's like, when you got gonorrhea.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure our table heard the first die before he even said it. Because then I think, like, we laughed, and then the whole room was, like, for a brief moment, paused, and like, oh! And then, like, they got it, so, like, we were onto it from the
Mike hit
beginning.
me. He's like, you called me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
So,
Tom
like,
Jordan from I guess he was in the band Seaforth, or was in another band called Seaforth, so really, really funny.
We are going to be listening to his album on the way home tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
A conversation with Chad.
Apparently,
is
yeah.
what- and on Instagram, he's Tom Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
2 N's. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's got new fans.
Yeah.
But the listening room is really cool. I recommend it to anybody, and I think
Yeah.
Mike, you can attest. Like, this is your first time bringing a group to the listening room, right?
Inaugural.
Inaugural,
First
yeah, not the
annual.
first annual.
First annual.
And we'll see a Guardian in 5-10 years when this is going to be on everyone's itinerary.
Absolutely.
We'll say Monmouth Roosevelt
Give us 5%.
started this off.
Per kid.
Every
Per head.
time you take a group, we get a cut.
You get a little bonus.
We get a cut.
right, yeah.
So then after the listening room, we.
I was gonna say real
Oh.
quick. Sorry, before we get to that, because the one thing that I'll need to maybe get back to us on is why country music is so big in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't. I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit in yesterday's episode with
all the
Opry,
Aussies that were at the
but
Opry.
there was
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 huge tour groups, with one of them being like 100 people
Yeah.
from Australia
Wonder if they're
in town for the Opry.
Well, they're in town for the.
Like they're in town for
Fest.
this, but they're in town for the CMA Fest, which
Right.
is another thing we learned about tonight from our 2 new fans.
Yeah, we'll talk about them
We'll
later.
get to that in a second. But like I really want to understand like their big influence for about country, because like I never would have guessed
Right.
Australia.
Yeah, I
has
picked them
these
for
big-
death metal.
or their own folk music or something. You know, like just famous band pieces that are from Australia. Like Percy Granger, all he ever did was just take Australian tunes
Yeah.
and write them for Wind Band. Like
Shout out.
Shout out Percy Granger. You
Yeah.
can't sponsor us because you're dead. So not that you're not allowed, it's just that you can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would be one thing I would want to like kind of read up on or like.
And the food was good.
And the food was very good too.
Good.
Yeah.
Art had this 3 meat platter.
Dude, it was gone. Like as soon as I saw it,
I looked over and I'm
done.
like, holy crap! I tapped Mike and I'm like, hey, look, there's the 3 meat deal.
Right.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Empty.
And then like I looked over like 30 seconds later and.
Gone.
It
so
took me
delicious.
forever to eat my burger, but
So delicious. But yeah, so I'll need to check on the Aussies thing. But all the songwriters today at the listening room were Australian.
yeah.
So and all the
And
guests that they
everybody
brought,
they brought up.
too were Australian too. So it was really interesting to hear like people writing for like Luke Combs and
Right.
Post Malone. They're Aussies.
Right.
The New Zealand gal goes, I hope you can understand everything I say because of my accent, because I say water, and you guys say water.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, but really, really good music. So
Yeah,
that was
they're-
fun.
The songwriters seem to be. I mean, we talked about Bill Anderson last night and Dan Schlitz. They've got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're really, really funny.
Mm-hmm. So
anything
yeah,
else
so-
about the listening room?
No, that was it. I wanted to add that bit about the
Yeah,
Australians.
yeah,
'cause,
yeah.
like, that's pretty
so
cool.
hey, our Australian listeners, why is country music so popular in Australia?
Email us at musicinthemakingpod
Is that an Australian?
at gmail.com.
Is that an Australian leaving a comment right now?
Maybe.
Live? Are we live?
Could we?
No,
Yeah.
it's I don't. Who is that?
Throw it. What time is checkout tomorrow?
Shut up. We're not answering Rowan.
Rowan, by the time you hear
Shout out,
this,
Rowan.
Shout out, Rowan. By the time you hear this episode, you probably won't even care. But it's
He's
probably,
graduated. We're
but-
done with Rowan.
But we're leaving like before 9 o'clock. So just
No, we're not. What time are we
9:15.
leaving tomorrow?
9:15.
9:15.
Oh, I thought we had to be there at 9.
We'll do 9:15.
You stay in the truck.
It's
Mike and
9:30?
I have got it. Mike's in charge.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, Mike's the smartest. So what did we do after that?
So then we went to the Opry.
Did we? Oh yeah, because we
Yes.
had a little bit of we had a little bit of time. We let him go to the gift shop.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
we went back to the Opry for the backstage tour, which unfortunately was a little cut a little short just because I mean they were doing live like sound checks for the show, so like that was kind of cool to see that a little bit. But like unfortunately they're trying to get like 2 or 3 tours done before like it's completely closed off to everyone, and
Yeah.
so I would like to maybe come back to Nashville, do this one again.
Right?
I would recommend the tour to anybody.
Yes.
I really would, because when we did it last year, it was amazing. You
Yeah,
get to-
no,
You
it's
get to stand in the circle and shout out Garth and Trish.
Right?
oh Garth, yes, shout out,
Shout out, yeah.
sponsor us.
Like,
We went to your bar last year, Garth. You
Yeah.
owe us.
yeah, my bill was insane. But my bill today was $90.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
90.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you paid for Lisa's water.
Yeah.
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Right?
Like what the? Anyway, the video. What does it cost to do the Opry tour?
I don't know, similar, like 30, 40-ish.
Okay, $40 just to watch that opening video.
I know.
Every time.
Worth it.
That
It's,
opening
uh,
video is so amazing,
It's
and
a
when
production.
all of those country stars are singing "Will the Circle Be Unbroken," it's amazing.
I love how they did a really good job editing it because they were syncing up like
Right.
footage from them singing it
They're-
from previous times
Right?
with the current song version that they're doing.
Right.
It chills every time.
Yeah, it's so good. And
Chills.
I
Yeah.
cried.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, seriously.
There were a
you
couple
were up.
times.
Yeah,
There were a couple
we're-
times
yeah.
I choked up. Yeah, it's really emotional. It's really good. And you know when our new best friend Carrie Underwood,
Right.
Shout out.
came out, we were like, sponsor us.
Sponsor us. Definitely sponsor
When
us.
our new best friend Carrie Underwood pops up, we're like, we
Yeah.
know her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, highly recommend the tour. If you ever decide to go to Nashville on your own or take your kids.
Did
you say
there's a post-show tour?
We're doing that with directors this year.
That might be a thing. You're gonna have to let us know if that's a thing.
I want to see if it's actually good or not, because if it's not standing on stage,
I-
I don't want to do it.
I think I mean, I said it, I think, in the van or when we were driving or whatever. I said, like, the only thing I would think is that if I just got done doing a major concert, I would not want to be seeing anybody afterwards. You know what I mean? So
the backstage, the dressing rooms will be interesting.
Yeah, so that would be that would be just me.
We did get to see some artists in their dressing rooms.
Yes, so that was kind of neat.
We did get to see that.
That's cool.
But unfortunately,
we didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
No
But,
Scotty
like-
McCrary yet.
We were thinking, I was thinking, we could be standing here in the little where there's security,
where they
check-in
come in.
place
Where
in.
they come in.
Right.
We're like,
yeah, there were people who were coming in.
freaking Garth Brooks could walk by us right now,
Right.
Yeah.
and I would seriously
just
think.
checking my mail.
I would seriously think.
Checking my mail.
Yeah. Well, because the
Yeah.
lady was like, they're not allowed to hand that mail to anyone except the people whose box it is, and they have to show ID
Yeah,
and say,
she
"This
even-
is me."
She even said, oh, Brad Paisley's mailbox is empty. That means he's been here in the last couple days.
And it's like, holy crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then she made it, and who knows if this is true or not. She's like, oh, you can see Dolly's is pretty full. We have a 5-gallon bucket behind Dolly's
For
mailbox to
overflow.
catch all of the extra.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, that tour is worth it. It's usually pretty good. The dressing rooms, to me, I don't.
Yeah.
They all look kind of the same to me. They have different pictures, and Dolly's is bedazzled, and
Right.
But just getting out on that stage, and when we came down here last summer, the first 4 or 5 people from our group were like, "Oh no, I'm not stepping in the circle. I've got
What
to
are you
earn
doing?"
the right to get in the circle." You're not
No.
going to. You teach music for a reason. I don't think that's a huge stretch. We're all good musicians, but
Right.
we don't have time
Yeah.
to be that good.
Yeah.
These people are amazing.
Right.
The band we heard at the Showboat, on the top deck, they're fantastic musicians.
Yeah.
They're still the B team
Yeah.
at the Showboat.
Yeah.
Anyway. So when we were here last year, I was in front of Art, and he goes, "Are you going to get in the circle?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm getting in the circle."
Right.
Yeah.
Who
You got
cares?
it.
Who cares?
Right.
I'm sure it's a completely different feeling. If Kevin Ferry walked into that circle as a tour person,
Yeah.
if Kevin Ferry ever got invited to sing at the Grand Ole Opry, I
Right.
would feel completely different about walking into that circle.
Yeah.
It was just a photo op.
Yeah.
Now it's, holy crap,
Yeah.
Garth is stood here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
George Jones,
Right.
Reba. That's different.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, I wasn't thinking that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, no, I absolutely recommend the Opry tour. So,
Then we drop the kids off.
little side note, some of our, I would say if you're 40 or over, will understand this. So we dropped, and Mike is 22 years old, everybody.
Yeah. That's what yeah.
So we dropped the kids off. I had heard that there was a Dukes of Hazzard museum, and there is. Cooter, who was a character in the Dukes of Hazzard, has a Dukes of Hazzard museum, and I wanted to go there. I watched Dukes. So back in the day, you had basically 4 channels, and your whole family sat around the TV and watched TV at night. And somebody had to get up and change the channel if you needed to change. You had to turn the dial on the TV to change the channel.
You're old.
48. I'll be 49 on Monday, but nobody would know that here in Nashville. But they announced everybody else's freaking birthday everywhere. But no, I don't get a shout out.
Oops.
So went to the Dukes of Hazzard Museum. I got myself a picture next to the General Lee.
Excellent.
Sent it to my wife and brother and dad and one of my daughters. And my wife replied, "Are they going to let you drive it?"
Nice.
No. But there was a sign on the seat that said, "If you want a picture sitting inside the car, $10."
Of
Go
course.
see cashier.
The admission is free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the museum itself really isn't anything. It really isn't. It's a gift shop,
It's a
and they
store.
have everything Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. So
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing it now. I've got a General Lee t-shirt on,
Very good.
and I got myself a Dukes of Hazzard koozie. But I mean, you name it, they had it. It was really funny. Sorry, Lisa. So the character is Cooter, who owned the garage, and one of the hats says, "I love Cooter."
The character, obviously.
Yeah, double entendre.
Oh. Do they have those in Dukes of Hazzard?
No, they were pretty straightforward
Yeah, I
with
was gonna say,
everything. With everything they were
Just
saying.
a good old boy.
Yeah. So Mike was nice enough to drive me over to the Dukes of Hazzard Museum, but like there was a sign on the door. Was it handwritten, like in pen? You
No.
read the sign.
No, it was,
like typed up and looked nice.
Yeah, and then they had the because they had the
So-
picture of the character and then like who the
Right.
actor
So,
was.
Boss Hogg's nephew. I don't remember that character at all, but I think he was a cop. I think he was like a second cop that was on there. He's going to be there in July, and then Enos, who was Roscoe's deputy, is going to be there like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, some of that.
So
Cool.
like some characters stopped by, and it was really funny. You walk in, and the cashier's like, "Welcome to Cooters."
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
It's like we have arrived.
But they were great. They were like, "Oh, you want this shirt? Oh, you need a 2X? Let me go look in the back."
Yeah.
And then she brought me out the Cars of Hazard County
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
It was a nice looking shirt, but I wanted the one that I got. And the only one they had in 2X was like that light orange. And she's like, "Well, let me go look in the back." So she
Yeah.
went in the back room twice, and she found the bright orange shirt that matches the color of the General Lee. And there's probably people that are listening to this going, "Oh my God, I can't believe Dukes of Hazzard, a racist show, Confederate flag, da da da." And I get all that. But when I was 8 years old, I didn't know any better. And like,
No,
it was a
like that.
part of who I was growing up, and like it was just fun to be in there and see all of this Dukes of Hazzard stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we laughed. Like we are laughing at some of the stuff in
Oh,
there.
it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So no, I got some cool stuff. So thank you, Mike, for
Yeah.
shout out
Shout
Cooter.
Shout out
Yeah.
Cooters. Probably don't sponsor us.
No,
probably should not sponsor us.
Maybe not.
Probably not. Probably not. So
Unbelievable.
and then from there we went to the Showboat.
Yep, then we went to the General Jackson Showboat Diner and Show Theater or something like that.
Yeah,
Or the
something
full name is.
So last year
We did that.
we did the Showboat, right?
Yep,
Afternoon.
we did. Yep, and
We did the
afternoon
afternoon show.
Yeah.
And Mike kept telling us the evening show is way better. The evening show is way
show.
better.
And it was.
Holy cow!
Everything was so much better.
Everything was better.
But not to say the afternoon show was bad.
No,
it was very good.
It was very good.
But the fact that like it can top itself.
Right.
And again, this
Yeah.
is like the A team versus the B team stuff. We've been
Yeah.
saying everyone's super good.
The only positive about the afternoon show that we came to, Guardian card,
Correct. Free drinks.
free drinks.
Oh wait, that's what he said.
But
Yeah.
like we went up onto the third balcony. Or the third deck. There's a band playing. They were very good. The weather was much better because it was 105 degrees when we were there last year.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was terrible. Everybody
Yeah.
was just sitting inside near the
Right.
bar.
Right.
But the difference in food,
Yeah.
like prime freaking rib,
Shaved meat.
and all you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I ate a pound or two
Yeah.
of prime rib.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was good. Yeah.
And basically, the show for the Showboat is all cover. It's a group of really phenomenal singers,
Yeah.
just covering country hits.
Through the decades, they
Yeah.
start old, and they go all the way to new era.
But like they're not really doing like they're doing some nuance type or not nuance. Well, I mean I guess in the
Some variation.
variation on the, but their voices sound like the originals. Some
Yeah,
of
they
them.
try and get them.
And it's-
Well,
Loretta Lynn
I will.
and-
I can't.
Oh
remember,
yeah,
I
the
think
women were
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
I hear that
The
person.
the one gal was. I almost swore. I looked at you. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
She is so good. The only one that I'm like, they should cut this song. because none of them sound like Chris Stapleton.
Yeah. Yeah.
That Tennessee Whiskey is. I don't ever want to hear anybody else but him sing that song.
Right.
Just his voice is so good.
Yeah.
And so unique.
Right.
But holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there like, these guys are true professionals, but like none of them probably have record deals.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
they're
that's the
like,
crazy thing.
hey, come up here and grab our CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we have just
Of our
just,
stuff.
just do over 2,000 or whatever. That was pretty funny. But like, yeah, I just like these guys are so talented, and maybe some of them are like, I'm doing this until I make it. Maybe some of them just enjoy bringing this music to people.
Right.
You know, but like whatever the case, it is top tier.
They're
like,
still getting paid to do what they love to do.
Yeah, it is top tier
Best
musicianship.
grade B talent ever.
Yeah. And the Art turned around to me one time and goes, oh my God, they're so tight. Like their harmonies. What were they doing? I can't remember.
And when we say
Little Big
like,
Tom.
Oh yeah, like when we say like B tier or like B team, it's not to be derogatory. It's like this is the bar that is set in Nashville.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this is the bar.
Yeah.
Like B, if you think Carrie Underwood was A,
yeah.
how close they are.
That's the thing. Every band you're listening to on Broadway is a B.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Because they're not on the freaking radio.
Yeah, it's like it's just so it's so amazing. People who are listening, go to Nashville at least once in your life, experience this. Take some few days.
Give yourself a few days. Yeah,
like really, give yourself
right.
a few days to experience a whole bunch of different stuff, and honestly, you will be changed to the point where it's like, because it was funny because Kat and I always joked about like. Well, not a joke, but like we was talking about like where we would retire. I told him tonight, I think maybe we should retire in Nashville. Maybe he's like maybe we actually want to retire.
AJ and I want to retire to Tennessee.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's Nashville, but can we be an hour away from Nashville and just drive into the city?
Yeah,
and
see,
spend
like
the night
that's.
or whatever?
I mean, I'm convinced that like that just feels right to me.
Yeah.
So we need to give a shout out to our new best friends.
Absolutely.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
We sit at you sit at tables of 9.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sit at tables of 9. Well, we had 7 of our party at our table, and then we had 2 other guys, and we got so lucky.
We did.
Oh yeah.
Immediately they were like, "Okay, so what do you guys do? Where are you from?"
They wanted to talk. They knew.
And that just everybody just had a great time at our table. So shout out to Dylan and Brandon.
Brandon, yep.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go. This Brandon though.
Yeah, this Brandon, not any other Brandon. This is Brandon. We're saying let's go. So
we just made this up.
Brandon and I share a commonality, and they were very engaging, and they wanted to know about us. They actually went around. They're like, okay, wait a minute. So what instruments do you guys play? And we're like, guess.
Yeah, we made them guess.
And they did.
Yeah.
They did pretty good.
And they did actually not too bad, because even if it wasn't the direct main instrument, it was instruments that we already played.
Yeah. And he said, I would have never guessed you were a singer.
Yeah. He's like, you're giving up drums.
You're a drummer.
Yeah, I'm a drummer.
Yeah. But they drove all the way from Maine.
They flew.
They flew
from
all the way
Maine.
from Maine. Like
an hour from Canada, kind of thing.
That's crazy.
But
they were also out here for CMA
Fest. Yeah, they're going to be here till Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's exhausting.
Well, they got in last night at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were out until 3:30 in the morning. They didn't get home until 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he was going.
That's exhausting.
Dylan was going.
They're gonna be listening to this.
Yeah. Way to go, guys.
Yeah, good. Hey, hats off. But
anyway,
as we go through, we're from Monmouth, Illinois, and then Crispin and Lisa gotta be like, no, we're from Aledo. Unshout out Aledo.
Don't sponsor us.
Sorry, Fusty.
Fusty Puggles.
But one guy was like, oh, well, I'm from Maine, and I think he said the town. But the other guy was like, well, I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm like, where about in Massachusetts? And he goes, Foxborough. I'm like, go Pats!
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, like, so Foxborough, music people that don't know football, and no judgment there.
Me.
Yeah. The New England Patriots play in Foxborough,
I
Massachusetts.
did not know that.
I've been to Foxborough, Massachusetts, and like surprisingly, like we didn't talk Patriots the entire night. Like it was just towards the end that
Yeah.
I'm like, hey dude, let's talk Pats. But two great dudes just chatted it up. The one guy even bought me a drink, and
Oh, that's nice.
then he made fun of me for being blind because they were singing
It was at the worst time too.
Yeah.
We were laughing during a soft part in the song.
well, yeah, it was
so bad.
they. I can't remember the song, but at the end they do "Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound." Saved a wretch like me. I once was blind, but now I see. And he goes, "Can you see?" Yeah, that was Dylan.
And we all cracked up, and the song was not done yet. So,
Oh my god.
10 out of 10, Dylan.
Yeah, that was crap.
And then we're like telling about like all this stuff, and like, yeah, we have a podcast. They're like, wait, you guys got a podcast? And they looked us up. They're like, whoa, over 50 episodes. Follow, and we're like, you guys are awesome. You guys rock. And we're gonna definitely shout you out at the podcast.
Yeah,
we are.
They said they were gonna listen to it tonight.
Hey,
no way.
If they're gonna be up till 3:30, maybe.
Nah.
They might. They might.
But no, it was Mike. It was a great day, and one of my favorite parts about the trip is being able to make fun of you about all of the mistakes that you made.
Absolutely.
And so these two guys, love them. They they're here for like 6 days.
Oh yeah.
They flew. They're in a hotel. I don't know if it's quite as
They're like
highfalutin
I think
as
they
the
said $88 a night.
the newly renovated La Quinta.
Yeah. Yes. Oh wait, before we get to that part, because we talked about the La Quinta thing, I don't even know what brought it up. But you said, yeah, newly renovated. My shower curtain doesn't even go all the way across.
I'll show you before you leave. The shower curtain
And
doesn't.
then I said, wait, your shower curtain? I said, you have a shower curtain? They're like, my shower doesn't even close. I said,
But you don't have a curtain.
But like, it might as well not have anything because when the door closes, it opens by itself all the way.
Oh no.
All the way.
Hey, 90
And we were-
degrees are important.
We were cracking up. But anyway, so
Yeah,
so
they flew
6
from Maine.
6 days in Nashville.
Yeah, 6 days in Nashville.
Some sort of
and
highfalutin.
not a highfalutin hotel.
Sounding like at
Yeah,
least.
sound better than the newly renovated. But less than $1,000.
Yeah.
Less than $1,000. Now they're going to spend $2,000 while they're down here.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
He's been thinking about this. No, yeah, he's
Ubers.
He's
yeah.
not. Well, yeah, they talked about that. They were like, "Oh, we're headed to Broadway," and then he Ubered it, and he's like, "It's gonna be $40."
Transportation.
Yeah, transportation's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and Mike knows that I just give him a hard time, and
Oh, yeah.
it's all in good fun. But
Absolutely.
no, it was an awesome day. It's been an awesome 24 hours, 30 hours, 30 something hours. It'll be and then tomorrow, what's on the docket? Remind me what's on the docket.
Breakfast at Pantheon.
Parthenon.
Parthenon.
What's the
Pantheon.
Is that what's in Greece? The
Parthenon.
Pantheon?
Yeah, maybe that's
What's it
Pantheon.
called in Greece?
What is a part? What is the he's like, it's a building somewhere, and we've got a life-size replica. I don't even know.
Yeah,
What
wasn't it like the Temple of Zeus? Isn't that what it is?
We're gonna check it out right now.
okay,
Sponsored by
good
Google.
Former
airtime.
temple on the Athenian Acropolis, Greece, that
Oh,
was
Athens.
dedicated to the goddess Athena.
Oh, Athena. Okay.
Classical Greek art in the Parthenon is considered an enduring symbol of ancient Greece, democracy, and Western civilization.
You know, because those Tennesseans, those Greek Tennesseans.
So we're gonna see the Nashville, Illinois version of it tomorrow.
It's like seeing the Titanic Museum in Branson, Missouri.
Yeah. We all know how it goes down.
Yeah.
More ways than one. Mike just got that.
All right. So
Parthenon, over to National Museum of African American Music.
I'm looking forward to
which
that.
is
I will not be wearing my Dukes of Hazzard shirt to that.
He might not let you in the door. They're
Are you trying not to laugh, or you just?
It'd be a bad
It
idea.
was more like it's a shocked face.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a bad idea.
Just some good old boys.
It is
no,
a
no,
great.
no.
It's a fantastic interactive museum. Kids will dance. Kids will make their own beats, create their own music.
Sweet.
It sends to their email after it's done. It's great. Then over to Assembly Food Hall, which there's like 29 options of food, like cuisine from all over.
No,
the world.
you know what our kids will do?
Chicken fingers.
Nashville.
Burgers,
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what I will do?
Everything.
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
There's hot chicken tomorrow.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Natural hot chicken.
I don't know.
It's a Hattie B.
I don't know. I'm not a huge I love Mexican food, but I live in Monmouth and we have a plethora.
Los Hardee's.
Yeah.
We do have Lowe's Hardee's and Lowe's Barnstormer
Wow.
and Lowe's
Lowe's
Kentucky
Barnstormer.
Fried Chicken.
Just add some taco seasoning on top of the.
No, just
chicken.
so Lowe's Hardee's. I think it's San Jose, right?
It's San
is what it's called.
Jose,
It's
Taqueria.
in the old Hardee's building.
But we call it
Lowe's
Lowe's
Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's Los Ranchitos is in the old Kentucky Fried Chicken
That's not a
building.
name, Los Ranchitos.
I don't. Yeah, it is.
I think it's El
believe
Rancherito.
No, there is an El Rancherito, but I think ours is Los Ranchitos.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's a
El Guapo.
El Guapo. La Plethora.
So.
Ryman Auditorium.
Oh, that's right, the Ryman
The
Auditorium.
Ryman.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I really.
Yes.
Old home of the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's been a really fun time,
Yeah.
really good time. The kids are having a blast.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do with your kiddos, and our format currently, we're talking about changing the format, but our current format is our seniors get to go on a trip, our senior music kids. But if you're looking for a trip, reach out to Mike, mroberts@guardiantravelgroup.com. Reach out to Mike. This is a really good trip, and you've been down here a half a dozen to 10 times now with groups.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what he's doing down here with kids. He understands what is good, what is not. But I will say, the listening room, this was his inaugural. First time, and like he immediately was texting his people saying, yes, this is something we need to start promoting because this is really cool.
Yeah.
Our kids didn't know any of the songs sing, maybe a couple, but it didn't matter. Like they were hearing really good live music, and it just was awesome. It's been a fun weekend. We've slept 6-8 hours last night maybe.
Yeah.
And like we just were on the run all day today, and it was a hot day today, but it was still beautiful. Like it wasn't bad in the shade.
Right.
Unshout out Mike Roberts. He broke the air conditioning on the bus.
I'm so sorry, Board of Education, if you're listening.
Yeah.
They're gonna revise their policy. They're gonna revise their policy of letting people drive school vehicles.
I was gonna drive us home tomorrow, but maybe I think the Suburban. I think I'll let somebody else drive.
I think Kevin should drive.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You think it'll take 10 hours tomorrow? It's gonna be 3 days.
It'll be a fun 3 days.
In between the ditches.
I gotta get home. We gotta work tomorrow or Friday.
You gotta work. You gotta work Friday.
I gotta work.
Because you live across the street. I might be sick that day.
That's fair.
That's not fair. It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
But Mike, honestly, thank you. This has been a whole
Yeah.
lot of fun. We thank you for coming on to the podcast. I know we don't let you talk much, but you don't really have much interesting to say.
I really don't. This is my honeymoon. This trip is my honeymoon.
So, remind me, and I apologize. We weren't invited to the wedding, which was mean. But what's your husband's name?
Jack.
Jack. That's right. You told.
A special honeymoon shout out to Jack.
To Jack.
Right.
No, because of Mike, I now know how to use my Blackstone. We had a long conversation about how to use a Blackstone.
Oh, nice.
I bought a Blackstone.
Oh, did you end up buying it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought a Blackstone. I haven't used it yet because I've been told no, you got to know how to cook on it. You got to know how to clean it, because if
Right.
you don't, it's And
Yeah, it's supposed to last forever.
He was like,
Yeah.
so, and then I think we come to figure that Mike's favorite song is "Will the Circle Be Unbroken,"
Absolutely.
because we've heard it several times.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I've only heard 9 to 5 and Country Road. Of course, we weren't in like last year when we were here. We were in a lot of different bars and heard a lot of different people sing those two songs. We heard them at the Grand Ole Opry. That's the only time I've heard them this weekend.
We haven't heard. I've got friends in low places.
I know, and I'm sad by that.
That is.
No, it was on the Grand Ole Opry too. Yeah, because everybody started singing it
At the concert?
at the Grand Ole Opry pre.
Oh,
The
yes,
pre-
the pre-show.
the pre-show.
Yeah, pre-show
Yes.
music. Yeah.
Pre-show music.
You're right.
All right, fine. We got our one fix in.
Yeah, and I was sad we didn't go to Garth's Bar, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the option after the Ryman.
If you want
If we want to spend some time on Broadway, we can. I'm gonna bet the adults are gonna vote to go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Try and skip some traffic.
Well, not only traffic, but man, they're like I said yesterday. There's out of the 511 miles, over 300 of it is in construction.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just is awful.
And it'll still be a work week day, so they're going to be working on it. And so we'll have to
by the
stop
time-
every few hours anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and the barrels are still going to be up, and like our car asked on the way down here, like, how many of these barrels does the state of Illinois own?
Yeah. For real.
Or is that why we're getting $1.50 tax on every delivery? Because
Yeah.
when they're done with construction, they throw those barrels away and make new ones.
Yeah.
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 Big.
And I
big
can't
barrel.
imagine you live in the Chicago area. Like it's got to always be insane up there.
Yeah, it's dumb.
They're supporting Big Barrel. You know, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Not Big Pharma.
Big
Barrel. Not Big Food.
Big orange barrel.
Big
So.
Barrel.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well.
No, good trip, Mike.
Really
Thank
good-
you very
yeah.
much. We appreciate you. We appreciate Guardian Travel. And those who
Sponsors.
can't hear that, Mike is snapping.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks
In
to you
approval,
guys.
of course. In approval, of course.
What's that?
In approval. In
Yeah.
approval.
Yeah.
Snack
He's-
back.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Fun. We'll do it again next year. Next year we got 2 trips. We're hopefully to Nashville and Six Flags. Junior high is going to Six Flags next year.
And I won't be on that one.
Oh, that's right.
You're gonna
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
next,
about it later. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the next podcast.
And next one, yeah. So, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate.
Shout out Brandon. Shout out Dylan.
Yeah, I was gonna say double shout out for you guys. It was awesome hanging out with you at General Jackson. So hope you safe travels back to Maine. As always, thank you, Kidder, for sponsoring.
Oh, we didn't say that last night at
Yeah,
all.
I think
Beth,
I forgot.
we're sorry.
Sorry. We
Sorry,
apologize. We apologize.
Sorry, Beth. I'll shout out
Um,
Kidder again. Go Kidder.
Yeah, I was curious for sponsoring us and.
But you'll put the read on, right?
The read's always at the beginning.
Yeah,
but I always
yeah.
do a live read anyway.
Okay, so we got it covered.
So we got
But still, we usually
generally.
shout out Beth.
And then.
Hey, Beth, next year pay for our trip. Senior trip, sponsored by
I'm gonna get
Kidder
that
Music Service.
I'm gonna
in
get that
Peoria.
email again that says unsponsored again. So great, thanks. Great. I'm gonna need all that.
Still waiting on the
equipment
Guardian sponsorship, but whatever. The
yeah.
interim sales manager, you think you'd have some
Ser-
pull to be like,
You think I have power?
Of course you do. Anyway, but if you ever have questions, make sure that you reach out to the podcast, musicandthemakingpod@gmail.com, where you always want to take your suggestions and questions and anything you want to know from our point of view.
hey, and if you do contact Mike Roberts, mroberts@guardiantravelgroup.com, and want him to plan your next trip, make sure you reference Music in the Making, because
We have to get there.
there's a reference bonus there, and Art and I would love that.
Because then we get to go to Nashville.
Couldn't I?
Again. Again. So,
I'd love
anyway.
it. Yeah.
Thank you guys for being on, and goodbye! Mike, you didn't do it again.
Oh.
You just did this weird.
You gotta
finger
do the
thing.
vocal. You gotta do the
No,
vocal.
no, okay, Mike, 1, 2, 3, go.
Is it still rolling?
Yeah, it's a
okay.
girl. Goodbye! Much better. There we go.
Shout out Marquez.
Sponsor us.